Hello guys, so after doing all of the Iron Man figures last week, I thought why not do all of the Fantastic Four this week. Obviously presented by Stan Lee for Series 1 because it was part of the Marvel Action Hour. If you're a 90s kid, you'll know exactly what I mean. Let's take a look at this leaflet. We had 13 episodes in the first series. The second series, which was not presented by Stan Lee, was taken by another animation studio, which were not as good. However, the narrative, the story was better because it sort of followed on each week, which was better. So you know, swings and roundabouts and all that stuff. So yeah, you can probably get this on Disney Plus, I would imagine. You probably all remember Johnny Storm rapping and all the sort of cool little things that happened, like Ghost Rider coming on and taking on, you know, Galactus, and all the different cameos from the Hulk, and we had the Inhumans, and there was just so many cool characters. And for me, this has been the best interpretation of any kind of live action. You know, this animation's been the best one by far from the 90s. Right, let's get into the figures then. So that's what it's all about. We got these really cool cards with the reflective 4 in the top corner and the 4 characters. They were absolutely amazing and so good that Hasbro are tapping into this nostalgia now when they remake these action figures. There you can see, as seen on the Marvel Action Hour. If you're a 90s, 80s kid, you'll know what I'm all about these things. So let's start with Black Bolt. Series 1, Black Bolt, you push a button in his belly and his arms will spring up, and it's sort of to give him flight mode. We get a write-up on the back here. Guys, pause any of these today if you want to pause and read them. If you're watching it on a big screen, that is. I'm not so sure if it'll work on a small phone. And we see the ones on the back here that we get for Series 1. And I'm going to show you each and every single one. Next, we get Doctor Doom. And what is insane, although this is a really good Doctor Doom from the 90s, ToyBiz did a good job. We only ever got one Doctor Doom. Can you believe that? For this series of Fantastic Four figures, he comes with this blaster and this hand pulls out, and then you can retract it back in, which is really cool. And of course, Hasbro have redone him since, but this is the OG. The artwork on the back is amazing. This is a foreign card, so like a European card, which is different, so we don't get that right up. Or we probably do, but I just cannot read different languages. But yeah, so it just shows you a difference in the backing of the cards if you've not seen these before. But yeah, Doctor Doom is a really cool character, and great that he's in Series 1. Next, we get this super cool, really reflective chrome Silver Surfer with his surfboard. And a really good gimmick is that you can put him, I mean, look at this chrome dome here. A really good gimmick is you can put your finger into the surfboard and then sort of move him around as if he's flying on his board, which is awesome. Get some nice artwork and a write-up on the back, and it shows you that play feature there. All ToyBiz figures had features. If you're not from the 90s and 80s and you don't know, and this is your first time seeing what your sort of, I guess, your dad's action figures were like, these are next we get the Thing, the blue-eyed Thing, Ben Grimm. This is the first of several things. I've got them all, I'll be showing you them all today, but this was the first one. Quite a bit of weight to him. He did represent how he looked in the first series of the animation, which is really cool. And there's like a little button on the back which you sort of swivel left and right, and he'll move his arms up and down, and it's of course clobbering time, which is awesome. So there is Ben Grimm. Next we get Mo-Man and one of his little sort of minions, and look at the nose on that. I mean, I could say Nose Man, it is huge, but yeah, Mo-Man was in the animation. There was an episode with him in where he was dragging all the cities down, and he comes with this baton and that button on his arm that you can see there, and basically if you push it, he'll swing the baton round, which is really cool. Just another good gimmick. And you get one of his minions, which were also in the animation, and there is a big write-up on Mo-Man, another foe to the Fantastic Four. Next we get the Human Torch, Johnny Storm. This is the first of many as well. This is the glow-in-the-dark one with a catapult launcher that we can see here, and yes, he is really cool. He's got nice artwork on the back. It shows you how that works there. Definitely one of the most popular characters, him and the Thing, because we get several characters, and so I'm guessing that these were the more popular characters at the time, so they made more figures of them. Next we get Reed Richards, and this is an interesting one because he's got this sort of utility belt that he comes with that nobody ever really, I remember having this as a kid. I never bothered putting it on, but he had these stretchy arms made of like rubber, which they haven't, like, over time they go brittle and not quite right. This is also a European card looking at it, but there you go. You can see on the back you can stretch his arms out. I would have preferred a more telescopic style arm like the Apocalypse from the X-Men back in the ToyBiz days, where you could just do that and extend his arms rather than these, because over time, like this one's gone slightly off colour, but over time they go brittle and they don't last. This is probably quite good condition because it's been kept in box. Next we get Terax, and this is absolute vintage toy gold right here. This is a really nice looking figure. He comes with a comet that he flies on, which is really cool, a bit of asteroid. Of course he has been remade by the guys at Hasbro, and he's a very difficult one to find. Next we get Gorgon, another one of the Inhumans with hoof stomping action, a couple of really cool sort of space guns there. There was a big part that he played in the animation where he's chasing after Christo and Johnny Storms with her, and it was just a really good storyline. That was in the second series, I believe, and look, he has got hoofs for feet. Yeah, a great character, another interesting character that we got. And that's one thing you can say for ToyBiz. They did make a lot of characters, and I should mention this is series 2 as far as action figures go, which is 1995 now. That first series of figures was 1994. Next we get Dragon Man. This one sadly's come away from the packaging and someone stapled it, but it's so rare that I'm just glad I've got it here to show you. He comes with that flame there, that fireball that he can fire out, and he's got that super long tongue and those wings. A really hefty, heavy figure, hence why someone's probably stapled the bubble back onto the packaging to try and keep it on there. But there's some really nice artwork, and it shows you there, if you squeeze his legs, that tongue flicking in and out. Just a great character, one I can't remember from the animation, to be honest. If you do, let me know. Next we get, of course, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and I always found ToyBiz were never great with the women characters, and so that face isn't the best. And she comes with this shield and this invisible force field sort of rolling platform. But she is awesome. It's nice to have her. She's part of this series. It's great I can show you, and there's a write-up on the back there as well. Interestingly, on this card they're showing you series 1 set of action figures. I don't know why. She is definitely a series 2. And we also got her in a transparent form, and Miss by Magic, she's gone invisible apart from the metal rivets in her arms. Of course, all articulation as well, I'll say, is the standard sort of 5 points: the head movement, some elbow movement and knee movement. It's what we got back in the day. We didn't get this 30 points of articulation, oh no. But it was happy times, good times, and I'm hoping you're enjoying this video today and it's a bit of nostalgia for you, bringing back some memories, because these are really awesome. And a great wave and set of figures, and oddly enough there are not loads on the second market. It's almost as if collectors keep hold of these. Here's a comparison of the two together, so there you go. Next we've got Firelord, one of Galactus's heralds. I should mention Terax was also a herald. This one I had as a kid. There was a place called Quick Save over here in the UK, which was like a grocery store, and my mum managed to get me loads of these one Christmas, and it's the best Christmas I have ever had, and it has never been beaten. It was the best one as a child, at least, should I say. Yeah, there he is, and you can fire off this bit of his staff and to fire that fireball like a projectile, which is awesome. Just a great looking figure. Hasbro have redone him because they released that giant Galactus, which cost a second mortgage, but they bought him out alongside that. Then we get Blastar, another great character. He was definitely in the animation, and he was fighting against Annihilus, and I can't remember whether they called it the Phantom Zone or the Void or somewhere like that. And these two characters came out and started fighting with each other and creating havoc and Fantastic Four had to deal with him. I do remember that episode. And this one here, he fires out these blasts from his hand. A great character. Like I say, just so many really good characters were added. There's a big write-up on there as well. If you guys want to pause and read it, by all means too. But yeah, look at this. You just do not see these very often anymore. Next, we get our next Human Torch, which is, I believe, part of this series. And basically, he is like all textured, and there's flames on him and everything else, and it's just really a really cool action figure. You pull the back and there's like a flint inside which creates sparks, and this is the better one of the two in my opinion. I prefer it over the glow in the dark, but hey, they're both really good. It's just this is that something you don't see this in action figures anymore. Putting a flint in an action figure, not a chance, not in this day and age. Too many snowflakes would say, oh, this could cause a fire or whatever. But yeah, this is an absolutely amazing Human Torch. Next, we get Thanos. Thanos, the first ever Thanos in action figure form. I had this one as a kid. Can't remember him in this particular set of episodes of animation. I remember him from that Silver Surfer series. He was a big part. This is a reused part. It was used in one of the X-Men, I think. Null or someone like that had it. I can't remember. Yeah, I'll have to go back and have a look. But basically, it was definitely a reused part. But there's Thanos. Absolutely amazing. Really cool. A great action figure. The first ever time we got him. And of course, we know so much about him now. And he's been a big part of the MCU. But this was his first ever action figure form. So very collectible. And again, you just don't see many on the second market. It's just a really good interpretation of him, I would say, for back in the day. Definitely. Moving on, and next we get the Super Skrull. So this is the Super Skrull, was in the animation, and basically this is also, I should mention this is now series 3 of the action figures. He basically has the Flames of Human Torch, extendable arms, has Pengrim strength, and can turn invisible like Sue Storm, which is a great concept. And I remember him battling all of the Fantastic Four, and they had to deal with him, this Super Skrull, because that was a lot of these characters was the first time I was ever introduced to them as a child. Let me know in the comments if that's the same for you, because these sort of animations, whether it be X-Men, Fantastic Four, whatever, they came before I ever got into any kind of comics and stuff. So that's just kind of how it happened for me. But hey, it got me into the hobby, which is great. There's a nice write up there, and it shows you that arm can go in and out like if you push the button, like a projectile, which is a really cool feature. And this is just a great action figure. Next, we get Triton, and check out this shark that's with him. That shark looks absolutely crazy. Like it's a crazy shark. It's like, I don't know the face on it, but there is Triton, another awesome looking action figure, part of Namor and Atlantis and all that. And he comes with this really cool sort of horn made out of a shell that he obviously calls other people to alert them. And he's got this cool sort of arm spinning action. Just a great action figure. Don't know an awful lot about this character, to be fair, and I've been reading the Submariner comics, so I'm sure I'm going to find out more about him as I read through them. That was part of that big haul that I got. Next, we're going to be going on to the Thing. This is the second Thing. And what do? Do you remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they put him in a disguise? Well, he did use this disguise as well in the animation, I do believe. But it's always a classic hat, trench coat and sunglasses, and then you are disguised and no one will recognize you. This is a different figure as well, and those glasses clip on through a little sort of pin on the side of his head, which is really great. And I just love the fact they did another one, which is it's just a really cool concept. The Thing in disguise, trying to blend in, because he has a lot of issues with the way he looks throughout the animation. They go into that side of the story. Next, we've got Annihilus. This is the guy I was telling you about that was fighting with Blastar in one of the episodes. A really cool action figure. And if you look, his head and his wings, and he's got like a little body, pops out of the main body of the figure. And we did get another Annihilus, and I haven't done a video on it yet, which is all of the part of the Marvel superhero wave of figures. This one is definitely an upgrade, or at least definitely very much different to that first one that we got. Look how cool this is. His head detaches to reveal the figure. A great character, and I wonder if we'll ever see this character in the MCU, because he's a pretty powerful character. Anything is possible, but yeah, a great looking fig. Next we get Namor with his trident, and a really good representation of Namor as well. Of course, Namor and the Fantastic Four are linked big time, and you get this cool shield which is made out of a turtle shell. That's really awesome. And if we look on the back there, if you push his button on the back of his arm swings up to give you a punch. Yeah, another great character. It makes sense that he would be in this series of action figures, and I think it's just a really cool one to have had back in the day. Never had this one as a kid, but there you go. That's just the way it is. We also get this super cool, and I think it's better than the newer one that they brought out, to be quite honest with you. I think this is a better interpretation. Atom. Yes, I think this is really a sweet looking Atom, and I'm guessing he may have been in the animation. I don't remember, to be honest, but I'm sure he probably had something to do with in one of the episodes. And he comes with this cool sort of trident sort of dagger that spins in his hand. Yes, a very nice figure, a great one to have had back in the day. They just did so many awesome figures in the series. And I'm pretty sure if I went back through, I would probably find an episode with him in. Let me know in the comments if you can remember. Now, Adam Warlock was sadly never released on this backing of this card. For some reason he was held back, and the only way you could get him was with the Overpower card game, and he come with an exclusive Fleer card, which probably makes this even more rarer, because card collectors will probably go after this one if that is an absolute exclusive, and I believe it possibly is. Now this has got a lot of detail. He's got that cape going on, he's got that really cool staff there, he's got the gemstone in his head. This is an absolute amazing action figure back in the day, and it's just a shame though we never got him on that Fantastic Four card. Now his gimmick is pretty awesome. There's a button on the back, and when you press that button, his eyes light up and the gem lights up as if he's using the power of the stone, which is incredible. And there's the write up on him if you want to read that write up, and there we can see it working where you hold the button on the back. It is just a shame that we never got this one, because he was meant to be released with the Fantastic Four wave. I don't know why they didn't. Maybe it was delayed, maybe they didn't get it out in time. It is a very odd one, we'll never really know. Next we get the Wizard. Now we're going on to series 4 of the action figures, and you can see the packaging's changed, whereas we've got the villain up in the top corner. Whichever character it is, they're up on the top right hand corner, and we haven't got the Fantastic Four on the front anymore, but we do get a really nice 4 sculpted into the front packet. The Wizard comes with a gravitational board that fires discs. I remember him from, I think it's like one of the early episodes of season 2. He's got that giant cranium. He's sort of like an inventor, evil inventor, and he uses gravitational as his sort of anti-gravity equipment as a power, if I remember rightly. Yes, there is the Wizard, another great and colourful character that we got. Next we got Cycle Man, and of course Hasbro have redone him, but this one is really awesome because he comes with this really cool emotion detector, because he uses your emotions against you, whether in the episode that he's in within the Fantastic Four, he uses anger and fear and things like that. And he's a decent sized figure. Okay, he's been superseded now, but this is an OG, and they never gave us this super cool emotion fear platform like he's got here. So that's, you know, just great that we used to get all these great gimmicks and accessories. And just, this is a toy of its time. That's all you can say about it, really. It's a toy of its time. And there he is. Look at that. Cycle Man, a really cool character. Next, we've got Medusa, another one of the Inhumans. She, again, doesn't have the best face sculpt. I don't know why. They never really did great with the face sculpts on the females. And that goes across all the lines, to be fair. But it was great to have her, and she comes with this a mass amount of hair and a platform to stand on that's made of hair, because she uses hair as her power. And this one's slightly yellowed, which is a shame, but she's so difficult to find, so difficult to get hold of. These are really tricky to find and complete, all these action figures. There she is, Medusa, on her platform, a great character. And it's great that we saw her in the animation. She's obviously a big part of the Fantastic Four. The Inhumans and Fantastic Four have lots of interactions. And it's just great that we got her. Very nice. Next, moving on, we've got the Thing in his Fantastic Four outfit, which represented the second season more. That's what he was wearing. He had a top and everything, and I really like this Thing. He's got a different face sculpt, really ready to bring the clobber in time. It's just fantastic. It's a huge figure. It's a real heavy, hefty lump of plastic, this one, but well sculpted for what we got back in the 90s. It's just a really good action figure, I have to say. And he comes with this sort of rock platform that when you smash his hand down on that button, it breaks it apart, which is a great gimmick. And the Thing was such a loved, I think he was just one of the more popular and such a lovable character that's why we got 3 throughout this series of action figures. This Human Torch I don't have. There you go. I don't have that Human Torch, which is a shame. However, I do have him in a double pack where he's the exact same figure, but in a different, it's a different paint job, which is a shame. And the chances of me getting one now is probably highly unlikely, because just to import from America, it's just too expensive, and these are just so rare over here in the UK. We really do not see them very often. But there he is in the other variant form. Next, a man that needs no introduction, Galactus, Devourer of Worlds. This is absolutely awesome, and of course Hasbro have done one, but this at the time was $20. It was affordable, it lit up, he had a great big drill, and this is a 14-inch, similar to the Sentinel that came out from ToyBiz, and this was the first one. They did later on bring out another one which I think actually spoke as well and did some voice sounds. This one just does the light up and sort of siren sounds. Galactus, how amazing is this? A absolute beauty as part of this series. Next we get the Thing's Sky Psycho. There he is, trapping Doctor Doom. Like I said, I can't believe we only ever got one Doctor Doom, considering he is a huge foe to the Fantastic Four. This one's got a rocket that fires off and it clasps figures by pushing a button, so they go out to the side, those sort of front pieces, and then they pull in. But it does fit. The first Thing can hold on and drive this Sky Psycho. I had it as a child and I had that first Thing. As for the disguise Thing, or the Thing in his blue Fantastic Four suit, I really don't know. It's great looking on the back of the boxes, all this advertising for all the other figures we could get. These did come with leaflets as well, showing you all manner of things, so you could plague your mum and dad and just be told no, because it's the 90s and we never got everything we wanted. Next we've got the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic Sky Shuttle. This was a really good little one-off set, and it had a lot of features. Again, I think this is better than the Sky Psycho, to be fair, because it's just got so many more little features going. But it's nice to see it all in box like it would have been back in the 90s. This, I believe, this one and the Sky Psycho were around 1995. So I think they came out around the second and third series of action figures that I've showed you. But look at all the details in this, because I've got this loose one. Weapon storage. This fires missiles. It's got a missile canopy on top. Reed Richards is in there. And basically I'm going to try and take out Gorgon here, and I've missed, but not to worry, because if I pull this up, we've got a secret area that pops open, and there is a missile that we can put in there, which sadly when you push the missile and you can't shut the front down. But hey, we're going to retry again. We're going to try and get this Gorgon. This worked. I probably was a much better shot as a kid back in there. No, I probably wasn't, to be fair. I haven't even loaded this missile in properly, but that's loaded in. Let's try and take out Gorgon. There we go. The thing is, you've got to keep it up in the air so he can't use his stomp. That's what put off that first shot. I had the Sky Shuttle on the ground. But yeah, there you go. There's all the like missiles and bits. This is a really good set. See what I mean? I'll show you this Reed Richards here in a second. But in the cockpit there, that's just stickers that went in. This thing was covered in stickers. You need to be very careful. But it's just a really good, detailed, one-off shuttle. And it probably wasn't very expensive back in the day. I wouldn't like to say exactly, but it was probably like $15 or something, maybe 10 UK pounds. It was, you know, such a good time back then. And there's the stretchy arm. See how they've off-coloured and they're no longer sort of so. That's going to happen with rubber, which is why I would have preferred some plastic telescopic ones. But this was the only Reed Richards we got. Yeah, on the back of the box it shows you one with normal arms, but obviously they went with this. Here is the instruction sheet for that Fantastic Four, you know, schematics. Let's call it schematics. It sounds cooler. But this shows you it there. And sadly, I do not have this Fantastic Four car, which was basically 4 cars stuck together. It's extremely expensive. I do have the second one they made later on, which I'll keep for another review. But this was great. It had a sound module in the middle. And basically, you could disconnect it and move it around. It was just... It must have been wonderful to have. If you have one, let me know in the comments. I'll tip my hat off to you. But sadly, I don't have this one in my collection. So there you are, guys. Thanks for watching if you watched all the way to the end. I hope this has brought back some memories for you guys if you had these as a child. Thanks for watching. Until next time, good luck searching for that toy gold.